based on knives, tools, guns, family, community service, and other topics that are important to me. I call myself the late Boy Scout because I believe in scouting values, in the Boy Scout values, and I've kind of rediscovered those. And I think that you should rediscover some of that too. So I'll try to roll.
Yeah, and thanks, Late Boy Scout. He's got a great channel, and he's the inspiration for this video. I was digging around and looking, thinking a new video to do, digging around through the shed, and found my scouting stuff. So I figured I would bring it out here and do a couple of things with this video. One is give a heads up to Late Boy Scout. Great channel. If you haven't watched his stuff yet, he does great videos. He doesn't, like he'll say, he's not an expert. He's not trying to be an expert. Just doing some great videos. Like I say, inspiration for this one for sure. So what I felt I wanted to accomplish in this video was, one, give a shout out over there. Two, give a shout out to the Scouts. I think they offer a great service. If you've got kids, definitely think about scouting. And then three, I wanted to dig through my stuff, and I figured I'd try perhaps make a good YouTube video. I don't know. I've also been toying with the idea of having more videos where I ask questions. I've been doing it with some of the stuff on the gun channel. So I figured I'd also ask, people that are watching our videos, were you a scout or are you a scout? And if so, where'd you go? Where was it? How was it? Was it any good? Leave some comments in there. I had a lot of fun in scouting. I was in from a Cub Scout through, I graduated in Eagle Scout, and stayed a scout all the way through my senior year in school. Then I took a break for a few years, and when I settled down in Tucson, I eventually was at school with a guy whose kid was in a scouting troop, or a scout troop, and I ended up being an assistant scoutmaster for that troop for a while. Then, once his kid was out, a little less incentive to hang out with a bunch of kids, so I stopped at that point. I assume, though, if I ever do have kids, or if I even have one of my friends' kids that wants to get into scouting, I'm going to encourage them and help them out. You get a lot from the program, in my opinion. There are some negatives to it, but honestly, in my however many years of experience I've got in it, very few negatives. If you're still interested in this video, I'm going to start digging into my stuff here. I just haven't looked at this stuff in a while, and you know how it is when you find something like this in the attic or in the basement. It's just kind of interesting to dig through and remember old times, and I thought I'd try it on YouTube and see what happens. Well, as I let the video roll there and I started digging through these two boxes of patches and awards and badges and stuff, it ended up being a pretty long video, and nobody in their right mind is going to want to watch that. So I just turned using the special effects in the video software, I turned the speed up as fast as I could, and that brought it down to about 5 minutes worth of time lapse as I'm digging through here. Accomplished a couple of things for me, though. I definitely don't remember the amount of stuff as I used to when I put all this stuff in these boxes years ago. So as I was digging it out of there and trying to remember stories, a certain amount of stuff came back, as I saw some of this stuff, but definitely lost some of it over the years. So getting it down on video, I figure, is worth it, because if I wait another 10 years before I look through this stuff, I'm going to remember even less of those stories and things. So I did get it down, documented it, I've got it digitally now. But again, nobody's going to want to watch that except for maybe me in the future, my kids or something. But again, I want this to maybe be a way to ask the question again. Were you in Scouts? What did you get out of it? What kind of places did you go? We didn't have the same experience as the guys out here in the West did. Not having mountains and rivers and lakes at our disposal like they did out here in the West. Would have been really cool being in Scouts, in my opinion, growing up here in Tucson, but I talked to the guys out here, and scouting wasn't as big a deal as it was back east, at least for the people I know. So again, I'm curious to see if anybody out there got anything out of scouting, and how far along you might have gotten if your kids are in it. I was in Civil Air Patrol as well. I guess that could be a whole nother video. I just don't see a lot of videos that mention it, so I figured we like to do videos on new and interesting stuff, so we'll see what happens with this one. I suppose I probably could talk about the resources there. I looked at the manuals and merit badge books. That could be a whole video, I think. Those merit badge books are pretty handy to have as little primers on various outdoor related topics. So I'm probably just going to cut the video here. It's just me digging through all these patches from when I was a kid, the different meets and different events that warranted a patch that I sort of collected over the years. And let's see what kind of discussion we get going.